Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good weekend and welcome back to Horizon Forbidden West, where after yesterday's cliffhanger, I think it's fairly safe to say that things have not gone well. The Zeniths were not fooled by the elaborate diversions that we took such trouble to set up. Varl is dead, Beta has been recaptured and I wasn't able to follow through on my promise to ensure that she wasn't taken alive. The Zeniths have Hephaestus. There's pretty much nothing to stop them from taking GAIA as well. However, just as Gerard's goon Eric Visser was about to do to me what he'd just done to Varl, one of the Zeniths, Tilda Vandermeer, intervened. And I don't know why. Well, today, we're going to find out. I must warn you, today's episode is going to be heavy on story and exposition, so make sure you're comfortable, perhaps go and get yourself a nice drink, and when you're ready, join me as we find out just exactly how bad things are, and what the hell is actually going on.
Beta. Varl. Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs. When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
Well, she's left me my weapons, which might mean that she's working real hard to try to get me to trust her. Although, then again, that doesn't really mean much, since my weapons can't harm a Zenith anyway.
What was all this for? Some kind of survival bunker? What is this?
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and GAIA are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain. My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later.
I have actually been here before. Well, not this room specifically, but this building. I just didn't realise it at the time.
Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn.
Huh. I wonder if that's where the expression carrying a torch for someone comes from.
This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits.
Oh, I know this one. Mostly because it was the cover of the Terry Pratchett Discworld book, The Night Watch.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world. A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
You notice the art's all Dutch, which probably shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, Tilda herself is Dutch. And of course, Guerrilla Games, the developers, they're a Dutch game studio.
The Gust, by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
I don't recognise the music, but if any of you music lovers in the comments were to tell me that it was actually written by a Dutch composer, I wouldn't be surprised.
Stunning, isn't it? Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's Lidded Ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow. Done so soon?
I've got more important things to worry about.
We both do. There is much we are trying to save, not the least of which is in that vault. There's nothing wrong with savoring such treasures for a moment more. Or come upstairs and we'll get down to business. Your choice.
While I do appreciate the insight into Tilda's character, I think that's quite enough. Golden Age Dutch art appreciation for one day. Let's find out where we are and what the hell is going on. And it's at about this point where I realise I have been here before. Do you remember the billionaire's mansion on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific?
There you are. Feeling better?
It's not Ted's place.
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
It's Tilda's.
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, in the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
A bunch of you figured that out from my first conversation with Beta, but I didn't.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen
Incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
even if it means stopping your friends.
Especially so. Please, sit down. There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Yeah. Regala and her rebels.
Even now, she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other, we'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
This whole game I've been wondering, what could Silence possibly stand to gain from inciting a civil war among the Tenakth? And, well, yeah, that's it.
You said Beta is not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing to her?
Putting her to work. Merging Hephaestus with Gaia. a difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be. But her life is not in danger. She's the only one who can do it.
Because you people made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's idea, not mine. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of kindness towards her. That's why I created the data channel. A virtual place where we could speak in peace.
Makes sense that they would still need Beta. Because, I mean, a lot of the Zeniths are tech billionaires, but that doesn't mean they actually know anything about tech. It's just they got pockets deep enough to pay people who do.
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere else to go.
It's true. After we reached our destination, a planet in the Sirius star system, we spent decades building a new home. The physical constraints of Earth, the boundaries of mortality, gone. To think of what we could have done with it. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated them. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time. We set course for Earth, the only safe harbor left to us.
Which you decided to make unsafe for anyone else.
Not me. Gerard. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the smudges. No more primitive tribes, no more combat machines, only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him. All we have to do is get into that base.
What exactly is your plan to sneak into the Zenith base?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation, a passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Beta and Gaia.
Once we're inside the base, where will we find Beta and Gaia?
Here in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world as it should be.
How do you know about Silence's plan?
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? Not so much. He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of his dealings. The distribution of override technology, the arming of Tanakh rebels, and the secret pact with Regala to attack Gerard's base.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it and the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be disappointed.
Yeah, his weapon already worked once and he's had time to perfect it since.
So you knew Elizabeth. What was she like?
Liz was everything she was. I see in you. And more. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make them your own.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer is that I don't actually know. For all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of herself locked away. It was like that from the moment we met.
The thing is here, Silence's plan sounds like it's a good one. What's this there must be another way shit?
First Varl. Now Hikaru and the Zeniths. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
It's not her plan, it's Silence.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there
She's just taking
isn't.
advantage of it.
Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
That is true. Elizabeth did sacrifice most of the adult human population of the planet who were capable of holding a weapon in order to buy time for Zero Dawn to work.
Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it. What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra protection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise. Okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge.
Hang on, what's this? I can appreciate keeping secrets from Tilda, but hang on, I want to know.
I think it can be done.
This isn't fair.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Silent's army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Silent's only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenakth. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring silence to the table.
Not if. When.
Okay, Tilda's clearly not happy that we're going with this new plan, but at least she's behind it. EMP's a very smart idea, actually.
Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
Because if Regalla's rebels, their only advantage is that they have machines. And if you drop an EMP on them, that advantage goes away very quickly.
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regalla's forces. Just reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.
Gotta admit, this new plan does have its merits. Stop the civil war between the Tenakth so Silence has no option but to work with us, using his shield disruption technology, because Silence is a lot of things, but stupid is not one of them.
When you're wounded, you have to strike back. Draw blood.
Hey! Can't I get one damn minute to mourn my friend?
Regalla is going to slaughter my tribe to overthrow Hikaru. The Zeniths have Beta and Gaia. We can't sit around wallowing in our losses.
Kotallo's right. We must fight.
Oh, all right. So what are we gonna do, huh? Take on all of Regalla's rebels?
Not to mention the Zeniths. What can we even do? Throw ourselves at their base?
Something like that. So...
After we lost contact with you, we regrouped and went to Gemini. What happened? The recording we found on Varl's focus cut off when that Zenith, Eric...
The Zeniths were tracking Hephaestus. When Gaia trapped it in Gemini, they knew where we were. After Varl tried to stop them. They took Beta and Gaia. I only survived because one of the Zeniths turned against the others to save me.
One of them? Well... at least we didn't lose you too. So what do we do now?
We're going to defeat the Zeniths. And get Beta and Gaia back. But first, we're going to stop Regalla.
How?
Back in Gemini, Beta gave me a gift. There's something I need to do first to make it work, but it could put an end to the bloodshed.
Word is, Regalla's readying her army for an all-out assault on the Grove. I need to be there.
I know. Go. Stand with Hikaru. And keep an eye on the sky.
Strike true as the 10.
The rest of you, whatever preparations you need to make, upgrades, resupplies, get on it. It won't be long before we take the fight to the Zeniths.
We'll be ready, Aloy. And when you're ready, meet me outside the east exit. I'd like to have a word in private.
Even when things are darkest, you're the flame that lights the way forward.
Just tell me one thing. Am I gonna get to smash up a bunch of Zenith bastards?
We all are.
Good.
Before I do anything else, I should check on Zoe. It sounded important.
In the interest of showing you as much of the main story as possible, and also because Varl kind of deserves it, I'm going to show you this bit in today's video. However, it all does get a little bit touchy-feely, And in case the sentimentality does get a little bit too much for some of you, I will provide a timestamp so that you can skip ahead once Zoe and I have concluded giving Varl the send-off that he deserves. I mean, I didn't mind this part, but it came really, really close to the limits of the amount of sentimentality that I could stand, so I'll provide a timestamp in case it's too much for you.
Over here, Aloy.
That's it.
We would come out here to tend to the garden. Sometimes I needed fresh air. Other times we would simply sit and watch the sunrise. So when we returned from Gemini, it seemed fitting that he be laid to rest here. Now he can always look out at Plain Song and further east to the Nora sacred lands.
He would have liked that.
He often spoke of his sister, Vala. He said she used to gather her favorite golden blooms and tie them to her spear. Their mother called it useless, but Vala was stubborn.
Yeah, she seemed like that.
It wasn't easy. But I tracked down the flower. Gathered its seeds. As verdant limbs wither, roots rot in snow, still the sea rises as certain as stone. From death follows new life. So it is with the land. And so it is with us. I'm with child, Aloy. I was going to tell him when he got back from Gemini. Instead, one day, I'll bring our child here. We'll sit among the blooms and watch the sunrise.
I never got to tell him. To thank him. For saving my life, sure, but also for not giving up on me.
He always knew.
Goodbye, Varl. I promise to look after them.
I have to admit, I didn't have much time for Varl at first, but he really grew on me. See what I did there? Grew on me. Yeah. Anyway, we've got a civil war to stop and a bunch of rebels to
I need
defeat.
to find a sunwing to override. Better head up the mountain.
Which means I've got some climbing to do, because now that we've got the ability to override a sunwing, it means I can fly. I just have to find a sunwing. Fortunately, on the mountain that the base is buried under, there is a nest of sunwings at the top. Just have to get up there. But that's not going to be too difficult. Got the sunwing override installed on my spear that Beta gifted me with back at Cauldron Gemini, right before everything went to shit. There they are.
Making good use of this.
Now, this is very important,
Good.
Jingles.
There are sunwings up here.
Override the sunwing. Do not silent strike the sunwing, because that would be bad. Would have made sneaking up on that one very easy. And I'm certainly not complaining. Let's go, boys! Hell yeah!
This is it! I'm in the air!
I now have the ability to call a flying mount, and I'm starting to wonder because there were a bunch of things earlier on in the game, one tall neck in particular, that I just couldn't do anything about. And I'm wondering if now I can.
Whoa! Head rush.
This is very cool.
Tilda, I'm in the air.
Then you'll want to pick up an energy cell on one of the ancient Horus Titans. But first you must send out a pulse to activate them. I've sent you the necessary software. To deploy it, you'll have to override one of the communication machines you refer to as tallnecks. There's one in the middle of the desert that should do nicely.
On it.
Wow, that is there it is. That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't always get these things right. I mean, Ted Pharaoh's mansion overlooking the Pacific being a perfect example. It was actually Tilda's place, which we should have gotten from the conversation that we had with Beta after we first rescued her. But I got this
There's
one
the
right
tonic.
on the money.
Need to get on top of its head.
Because I've seen this thing before. It's just wandering around a circle here in the desert, but you could never get up onto it and activate it. In fact, if you even looked at it on the map, it just said it was unavailable.
Now, how to land this thing?
That is a very good question. I have no idea how to land this thing. It's saying hold C to descend. Because I just have to dismount once I'm above that. Oh, I just left click. Alright, fine, I'll take it.
I made it. Okay, Tilda, I've overridden the tall neck.
Good. And the energy cells are now primed. Simply pick one up on a Horus. The nearest one should be northwest of your position. Dropping it on Regala's machine should produce quite a spectacle.
Thanks for the assist.
I told you, I want to help.
Fortunately, because I've forgotten how to use the tools and traps menu. Fortunately, the game does give you a reminder here.
Whoa! I'm gonna get used to that.
Oh, that's very cool. One hell of a way to land. It just picks you up and flips you onto its back. Right, so, Horus class war machine. One of the big buggers, the Titans. There it is, on the mountaintop. Controlling an aerial mount does take a bit of getting used to. I mean, it says you hold C to descend and you hold space to ascend, and that does work, like holding space here. I mean, I'm ascending, but it halts your forward motion in order to just flap high. There's a much more organic way of doing it using the movement keys. While flying forward like this, if you press the W key, you will dive, and if you press the S key to pull back, you will climb. So you can achieve the same thing as long as you've got enough distance without actually losing any forward momentum. There's the Horus on the mountaintop. And the Horus class Titan isn't the only thing that we've spotted from up here. Off to the left, one of Regala's rebel camps.
Regala's rebels. Reinforcements, maybe. Heading for the Grove. I hope Icaro and this Noct can hold out a little longer.
Is that? Yep, they've got Trematosts. No. Well, once I get this EMP, doesn't matter how big their machines are. There's the Horus.
There's the energy cell. Right on the Titan's back.
I'm gonna have that.
got the cell. Now on to the grove. Pulse from Tomek should have reactivated all the energy cells in the region. I should be able to pick up more from any horse I fly to. It'll be useful, even after I deal with Regala.
Good to know. Although it's the sort of thing that's only going to be useful against machines, or technological enemies, so not the tribes, pre-technological society. I wonder if I'm going to end up using this against the Zeniths. Although, I'd be surprised if an EMP worked against them. I mean, even today we know how to harden stuff against electromagnetic pulses. Wow, just look at the view. And how many more things am I going to be able to do that were previously locked off to me because I didn't have access to flight? I'm pleased I only unlocked this at the end of the game though, because it would have completely trivialised all of the climbing puzzles that I've enjoyed up to this point. Is that? Right. Oh yeah, that's the grove. We're nearly there.
Regala's inside. Hikara will soon be dead. It's all over, Chaplain.
I gotta drop it now. Here it goes.
It's Aloy! She flies on the wings of the 10.
The tide has turned! Push through! End of the line, Hikara. Now on your knees, and I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
They're down! The machines! All of them! They're down!
What? How's that possible?
Regala!
Yeah, they're not all down. Actually, yeah, how is my machine not down? Oh, it probably doesn't pay to ask too many questions at this point.
Enough bloodshed! Let's settle this. You and me.
Easy to say when you're atop a machine.
Really? Really? You're playing the this isn't fair because you've got a machine and I haven't card? You of all people?
Well, that was just to get your attention. I don't need any help to take you down.
Fine. I accept your challenge. And once I'm done with you, I'll get to finish the slaughter.
We'll see about that.
The duel is set. Let none interfere.
Got to admit, I'm not really following Aloy's logic here. Regala, let's end this bloodshed with more bloodshed. Oh crap! No! All of my gear is set up for ranged combat and stealth in particular. I thought I'll just jump off the platform to get some more distance. Nope, game's not going to let me do that. So, I mean, we're probably going to end up in the arena at some point, but I'm going to have to reach some kind of trigger point before the game will let me do it. Like this. Yeah, there it is. Okay, this is good. Lets me get a bit more distance to use my ranged weapons. Oh shit, she does too. Aloy, you don't want to be hiding behind those. They probably explode. I really do need to knock her helmet off though, but holy crap, that thing is taking a beating. Oh, she's got a spike thrower. Oh! It's... Wow. That seems unfair. How come I don't have one of those? I mean, I've got a spike throw, but I don't have one that does that. Oh wait, maybe I do. I think I do, actually. I think it's a talent. Which I probably have, but I've never bothered using.
This is where it ends!
Well, you got that much right.
Yeah, it is.
Aha! Yeah, you don't like that, do you, bitch? Have I gotten rid of a helmet yet? I think I have. Alright, extra damage now, headshots. Here we go. The Valor Surge has ended, but... What's she up to? I think she's energized her sword. Yeah, she has. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. Definitely need to keep my distance. In case you're wondering, I'm not playing on ultra hard difficulty. Otherwise this fight would take 10 minutes. Maybe longer knowing how I play.
Here I am again, on my knees before bootlets and cowards. Go ahead, run me through.
Shut your mouth, traitor.
It was you who flew in on the wings of the 10. You who challenged her by our rights. You must decide her fate. I spared her once. It only made things worse. She was the best of my marshals. What a waste.
That's the thing about betrayal, isn't it?
She's dangerous, all right.
You can't be betrayed by people you don't trust.
But maybe that's exactly what I need.
Cowards! What more do you have to conspire about?
Whether you live or die.
Aloy, are you out of your mind? You cannot possibly trust Regala. I mean, you could argue that I can't trust Silence either, but I can trust Silence to do whatever needs to be done given the options available to him. With Silence, it's just a question of limiting his options, but with Regala...
After all that you've done, I can't let you live.
Finally.
Silence is at least rational. Does Regala strike you as somebody whose actions are dictated by rationality? Hell no. I mean, I made the choice, but I'm glad Katalo got to do it. He earned it.
Blood for blood.
Guess that's over then.
Chief, there's something you both need to see. In the throne room.
The last time something happened in the throne room that we all needed to see, it was after I'd been tinkering with Minerva and all the displays suddenly came back on, but I haven't been fiddling with anything electronic this time, so please be good news. Ah, an Oseram. One of the sons of Prometheus who's working with Regala's rebels, giving them the machine
He surrendered
overrides.
to our guards outside the grove. Claims he has an urgent message for the Outlander who defeated Regala.
And that means silence.
So, state it.
It's for her alone.
Didn't take long to get his attention, did it?
From an interested party.
Yeah, I know who it is. Well, this is going to be an interesting conversation, isn't it? He's not going to be happy.
I'm going to need some privacy.
Clear the room. Put him with the rest of Regala's soldiers.
Well, what can I say? Silence, me old chum.
I'll see you back at base.
Tough titty. See what he has to say for himself.
You saved the tribe. Let me help you with your mission.
No. With Regala gone, you have a chance to build the future you dreamed of. So get to your task.
Then at least allow me to give you this. Regala's bow. May you always strike true with it.
Oh, I'll happily take a free legendary weapon.
Thank you.
Right, now, Hikaru, off you go. The grown-ups need to talk. Silence, me old pal. Me old mucker. How'd you like the taste of them apples?
Do you have any idea what you've just done?
Got some idea, yeah.
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you too, Silence.
Congratulations on your victory. You saved the Tenakth for a few weeks. Unfortunately, you've doomed the entire planet as well.
Wrong. I don't need a Tenakth army to defeat the Zeniths.
Oh, Aloy. Have you learned nothing about the enemy we're up against?
More than you, hiding whatever hole you found. My idea is just better than anything you ever came up with.
Go on.
No, not here. We're doing this my way. Face to face, and with the weapon you've developed.
And why would I agree to that?
Because I'm your only way of beating the Zeniths, and getting the copy of Apollo that's on their ship. So meet me at my base. Mountains west of Plainsong. Time to submit to the inevitable silence and follow the person who actually knows what she's doing. Don't be late.
Oh, snap! I got to admit, putting Silence in his place was extremely satisfying, and it was a long time coming.
Tilda, you there? I did it. Silence is on board, so head to my base.
Impressive. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Now that I can fly, I might want to see what else I can do before I head back.
So this is it, kids. Now we finally take the fight to the Zeniths on their home turf. And that, and much more besides, will be coming up in future episodes. In the meantime, hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you're all having a great weekend. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.